Welcome to Solving Cold Cases with Dr. Jim. This blog is brought to you by the Mid-South Cold Case Initiative, located at www.ms-coldcaseinitiative.com.
Hello, everyone. Did you know that since 1980 that we have accumulated over 262,000 unsolved murders? And that in last year's publication by the National Institute of Justice regarding the implementation and design and so forth of cold case units within the United States, that they have declared that we are in a cold case crisis. And there is no doubt about it, with that many unsolved murders, we are. My name is Dr. Jim Adcock. I have been at this for well over 40-some years, and the last 20 years in particular have concentrated through research and training of law enforcement and others and public speakings about the cold case crisis and some of the things that we need to do about it. In August of 2019, I started a podcast called Solving Cold Cases with Dr. Jim. And while I probably will continue with doing that, I wanted to transfer the medium to video and therefore bring you the vlog with the same title of Solving Cold Cases with Dr. Jim. All in the hopes that we can have or help make change occur so that we can solve more cases and we can do something for the families, the surviving individuals who I call the forgotten victims. My website, which is midsouthcoldcaseinitiative.com, is a nonprofit organization located in Collierville, Tennessee. The intent behind this corporation is to help law enforcement by consulting and providing advice and guidance on how they can go about initiating, designing, operating, and managing a cold case unit. With that comes training initiatives as well, because there are a lot of things that are going on in today's world that we just don't see on TV, or at least we shouldn't pay that much attention to it. It's entertainment. That's what you got to remember. The second major part of it is I've also put into effect some consulting efforts with families, the surviving or forgotten victims, because I feel like they're not getting a fair shake in a lot of these cases. Not all, but I think some of these cases in particular, they deserve more information than they're getting, and there should be more involvement. History and research show us that the more people involved, usually the better we are. Different sets of eyes have frequently and always do probably bring out something new for us to follow. It is a team effort, folks. It can't be just one detective or two detectives, or a crime analyst, or a forensic, or a crime scene person. It needs to be a team effort. And not one person, and I'm including myself in this, have all the answers. We just don't. It's impossible. If I see myself getting in my consultations away from my expertise, my first rule is call somebody who knows. Call somebody who has more expertise in that arena than I do. That's the only fair way to do it, and the only correct way, in my view. In my efforts to promote all of this over the years, I started after I finished as a professor at the Henry C. Lee Institute of Forensic Science at the University of New Haven in Connecticut, which, by the way, you can find all about me on my website and learn as much as you want about me and all the things I've written. But I wanted to bring to your attention specifically three items. In 2010, I wrote this book, which is Cold Cases, Evaluation Models for Investigators, and this was my first start. And it was based on actual cases and casework that we had done. And it's a very interesting read, and it does provide a lot of good ideas and concepts. This book was adopted by the Dutch Police Academy in Holland in 2011, and from 2011 through 2018, I have made numerous trips to Holland lecturing to their cold case detectives in their training efforts. The second book that I think is probably done much better and has a lot more information into it, because the problem isn't just the cold cases, it's how we got to the cold cases, which means how are we conducting our death investigations. So this issue spreads its wings a little bit, and we find ourselves going in a little bit different direction. Let's go to the core of the problem, which is the actual death investigation itself. I'll talk more about that later. But this book with my colleague Steve Chancellor of secondlooktraining.com is an excellent book and has been adopted by universities, some universities in the country, and is turned out to be quite a success. But it is the best book for those who are starting out as detective or want to learn about how to be a detective, especially in a homicide unit, but other units as well. Then, while serving on the NIJ Cold Case Working Group and knowing full well that our document, the NIJ Best Practices Guide, was coming out, I felt like it was important to do a supplement. Now remind you, I'm saying supplement to the guide. The NIJ Guide is the doctrine, is the main piece of information. This is only an addition to it and is only intended to be a piece that can be used to help the detectives, because it does what I call, it's a protocol, a handbook, a step-by-step process that should be utilized, and it's flexible. So this is something else we'll talk about as we go along with the NIJ guide and so forth. As I said before, the issue, the main thing I'm trying to do with the Mid-South Cold Case Initiative is to consult law enforcement, provide training, help them with their cold case efforts and endeavors. But I've also want to help families, and I've included that in my consultative processes as a means of trying to help them gain or have more information, which I think is important. Information is key. Remembering again that not one person has all the answers. It takes a team effort all the way through. In our next episode, I intend to go to the core of why we are here. How did we get here? Why do we have so many unsolved homicides? And it will be a little bit of data, that's true, but you need to see that to sort of understand some of the things that have been going on over the past decades, because it is interesting. And as I said, it will be about death investigation, but it will ultimately focus on the cold cases and the cold case processes that most of us feel should be done, but aren't being done in many jurisdictions in this country. And I'll explain why. There are some very, very good reasons as to why they're not being done, but there are ways for us to get around some of those and help them do better than they are. So with that said, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I am hopeful that you will return for additional information, ideas, concepts, and so on. I also, at the end of this video, will have listed for you my email address, phone number, and website. If you have any questions that you either want to answer for me to answer personally directly to you, or even on a video, I'll be glad to do it. So take whatever method that you feel most comfortable with and reach out to me. I will return the message. So with that said, folks, I want to thank you very much again. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
For more information about solving cold cases, email Dr. Jim at jimadcutt@ms-coldcaseinitiative.com or call 901-468-6100.